All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome one and all to my channel. My name is Chris, and this is We Love Comics. And before I start my little shtick here with showing an unboxing, let me know from you guys if I got a deal or good deal on this, what you would have paid for it. It's a bundle package of 8 comics in this purchase and unboxing I'm going to do. But while I'm waiting for people to see that I'm live, I want to remind people that yesterday on Thursday, I did a sneak peek video for my live comic auction that is going to be taking place this Sunday, I believe the 11th of May at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, 11th of May, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. The sneak peek video I did yesterday, which again was Thursday the 8th, you have the opportunity to make offers on any of the comics before the auction happens. And if I accept your offer, it will no longer be available for the auction. So 2 comics have already been sold because they made offers. So just a heads up, the comic Amazing Spider-Man number 20, first appearance of Scorpion, is no longer available, and Hulk number 180, first cameo appearance of Wolverine, is also been sold. So if you are interested in the remaining 15 comics, you could take your chance waiting for the auction, or you can make an offer right now or any day before the auction, and it prohibits the comic from being shown on the auction, so you don't miss the auction. You don't end up having to be outbid or go into a bidding war and have to pay much higher than if you would have made an initial offer. So remember, payment plans are available for the auction, and the auction is this Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. That's May 11th. And the video I'm talking about with the sneak peek was done yesterday, which was the 7th on Thursday. So while we're waiting for people to come in, let's say hello to the people that are in the live chat. Come join the live chat if you've never joined before. You don't have to be a subscriber, just join in the conversation because I always pick surprise subscriber shout outs at the end, and all you have to do is have at least one noticeable comment in the live chat, and you might be picked. So Brian Norman, welcome. Constipated in Sin City says, "Hey Chris, your Russian accent was good in the movie last week." I appreciate that. I like to do different roles. I was trying to keep that a secret that I was in Thunderbolts, but unfortunately you guys found out. So hopefully you enjoyed my acting debut as the Red Guardian. So thank you to those who noticed that was me doing it. So obviously I'm kidding, but Brian Norman also says, "Hey Chris, caught you watching from work." That's not a shock, and I'm glad to see you here. All right, so like I always do before we start the video, if you want to critique the AI art, by all means, please do, either positive or negative. I will leave that up to you. Let's give a shout out to my paid Patreon members. If you would like to support my channel and help support I'm just going to say on average 20 stray cats that I take care of, I feed, give water, vet bills if necessary, have them fixed so they're spayed and neutered so they don't increase population. If you are somebody that wants to contribute to somebody who's being kind to animals and, God's creatures, by all means, you can join at patreon.com/we love comics. Any amount is helpful, even if it's the minimum to join anybody's, which is $2 a month. You'll get your name up here. I'll do either your first name, because I'll never give out your last name and personal information out on YouTube or the internet for that matter. But if you'd prefer me to do a YouTube channel link or a social network like Instagram or Facebook or whatever, or if you have an eBay store or an Amazon store and you'd like to promote, or even if you have your own business website and you want me to promote that instead, if you put the minimum amount, like I said, of $2 a month or more, you will get that shout out. So let me know at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. So shout out to Sith Lord, Michael, Kevin, Dan, Herbert, Annabelle, Jason, Kim, Blessed on YouTube, Kendall Kid Comics on Instagram at ScottWU077 on Facebook, Stephen L. Turk Author, and last but not least on Instagram at Silver Age Surfer _comics. If the last four, if you visit them or subscribe to them or check them out, tell them on the post that We Love Comics sent you. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. If I get up to 20 paid members in a given month, currently I'm at 13. We'll see if it goes and changes and gets higher. But if we get to 20 paid members, I will mail out. We'll do a contest giveaway where one of the lucky paid members will receive for tier one an unopened baseball pack, and these are packs from the late 80s, early 90s. So there could be some key rookies or signature cards or patch cards. They've not been opened, so I don't know. Obviously, as it gets higher amounts of paid members, the tiers get better prizes. I will mail them anywhere in the world, and I will pay for the shipping and handling. So if you're interested in that, again, you can go to patreon.com/we love comics. All right. So as usual, I try and get people to focus on looking on eBay and seeing what you would pay, but most people tend to just say, well, this is what I'd be willing to pay. I want people to get used to kind of looking things up so they can, instead of assuming and overpay or think something's not worth the price that you see and end up passing up and missing an opportunity. I want to get people used to looking things up so they'll know if something is a good deal or not a good deal. So I always appreciate people's feedback. So they put a little card. That's nice of them saying thank you for your order. As usual, I asked a seller if they can pack everything securely, which this seller did. I never assume that a seller either knows or cares how to ship out. A lot of people, if they want to save money, they're going to cut corners. And every one of us, I'm sure, if you've been in the comic industry purchasing long enough, you'll get that manila envelope of death. So share your horror stories of packages you got in the live chat or the comment section, and let's see what we got. Constipated Sin City says, Chris, are you anxious to see Superman? Anxious is definitely not the word. With what's going on with Hollywood and the stubbornness of their agenda over quality and listening to fans, um, I am not going to be one of the people that sees this movie until I hear reviews saying it's not, a DEI train wreck. From the amount that they showed where Superman gets injured and they have these robots come and save him. And of course, of all the robots, one has to speak, and it's some female robot. Like, if you're being saved, do you really care if a robot that's saving you is male or female? But I mean, it's just that silly little adding that little bit of DEI that we don't need. So until I hear that it's just devoid of that stuff, I'm not going to give my money to companies. I'm not People have to understand that, yes, I love these comic book movies. I want to see good comic book movies. I've been going to the movies to see superhero movies since the original Superman in 1977. I saw Batman in 1989, the original Batman in the movie theater, the Thursday night preview before it was coming out anywhere. I love comic book movies, both Marvel and DC. I want them to succeed. But I'm not giving my money to companies when they're just going to give you DEI nonsense. And, some people are justifying it by saying, well, they're reducing it and they're only adding a little bit now, which is better, but not still good. And the analogy I'll use is if you have 99 pounds of ice cream and you mix in 1 pound of dog poop, what do you have? Well, you have 100 pounds of dog poop. Because it doesn't matter that 99 pounds of the 99 pounds of it was ice cream. It's the fact that mixing in that 1 pound of dog poop ruins the whole thing. So you could differ, and I mean by you, I mean anybody out there, but buyers have the advantage when it comes to this stuff. Like you saw with Snow White, hardly anybody went. And eventually they can only have so many tax write-offs before they start losing enough money to where they say, we can't do this anymore. You make your stand with your pocketbook and your wallet. And that's why when I saw Deadpool and Wolverine, I saw it the day it came out and I bought the tickets in advance because I knew that movie was going to be what we as fans wanted. So until that's my opinion. You could differ if you want to go and think and support it. That's perfectly fine. I'm not here to judge anybody and what they do because what you do as an adult is your right. So who am I to tell anybody what they can and cannot or should not do? And that's been the problem probably the past last decade, that people, instead of saying, well, I can be or do whatever I want as an adult with people of similar consent, they focused on, well, if you don't agree or you don't say it, then you're a bad person. That's just not how life works. You cannot tell somebody you have the right to do something, but so does another person who may disagree or not like what you do. When somebody tries to hurt somebody because they don't like what somebody says or does, that makes them bad as well. So if everybody out here watching wants to see Superman and they're really excited about it and don't care, that's fine. Just because I choose my way doesn't mean I'm going to tell you how to choose yours. So hopefully that clears that. All right, so they put a good box in here, nice and secure. I always tell people, don't assume with sellers, contact them, tell them what you would like. So they also put cardboard and taped it, very nice, and it looks like they wrapped them. So this seller did a phenomenal job with their packaging, and they used painter's tape, which is another thing I love, because the worst thing to use is packing tape for these kind of sealings of comics, because that stuff is not easy to remove, and you could ultimately bend or damage a comic trying to get them out. So this seller went above and beyond, and I appreciate that. Now, would they have done it regardless? Who's to say? But like I said, don't assume that a seller knows what they're doing. If you're kind enough, respectable enough, and just mention what you'd like, sometimes they do respond, and somebody might go the extra mile. I've had sellers thank me for explaining how I would like something mailed because they were new to selling, and maybe they were getting bad reviews or anything, or people complaining, and things just didn't work out the way they wanted to. Oh, and I forgot to put this one. There was a book that's going to be on the auction that I forgot to show in the sneak peek. So the other book that I'm going to list, if you're interested in this, I believe this is the only one of its kind. This is Vampirella number 23. This is the Bloody Metal variant, which is limited to 75 copies. It is a 9.9 with white pages. Now, if you watch my channel, with my PGX unboxings, I think I've gotten one other 9.9, and that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 51, the first Jenica. It was the 1 in 10 variant that was like a cardboard, and I knew that book was gorgeous, and it came back in 9.9. This is the same thing. This is a metal variant. It's limited to 75 copies. It is signed by Warren Lau. Forgive me if I mispronounce that. And it is a KRS Comics exclusive metal variant cover. Probably the only 9.9 graded. If you know of any other, let me know. So when you're talking a rare book and there is the signature, I totally forgot to put this in the auction. So this is available, and you can make an offer on it by reaching me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com, or you can wait until the auction. But this is not a cheap book, and it is absolutely rare. For people who are looking for rare books, I mean, that is a amazing cover. It is signed, limited to 75 copies, and a 9.9. So what? Maybe there might be 3, 4 of them. Maybe it is a 9.9. The best I've seen on eBay is a 9.8 of that version. So sorry about not bringing that up, but it'll be there on the auction. So let's get back to these comics. So we'll see what you would have paid for this set of books. I've actually never owned these before. It's something I've wanted, but the prices were always too high. So the good thing is when the comic community, because of the movies, pretty much, is not doing so well, that gives you an opportunity to find some pretty good deals out there for comics. Now, I think only the first issue, I don't know if it would be called a key or not, but still, I would love to own these. I'm going to put them in order. Absolutely love these covers. If you have any of these, let me know. I just want to put them in the right order. All right. So, in the live chat or in the comment section later on, let me know what would be, because this was, let me see, was it a buy it now or was it an auction? Give me a second. I believe it was. Oh, okay. I remember what this was. So I won't give the price right away, but it was not a buy it now best offer. It was a buy it now. And I contacted the person, even though they did not have a best offer. And I said, would you be willing to take such and such price for these books? And they agreed. They changed the auction to the price that I was asking for, bought it right away. Because I always say, you know, would you accept blah, blah, blah price for a blah, blah, blah comic? And if you accept it, I'll pay right away so you don't have to wait, or you don't have to worry about somebody not honoring their bid or having to relist multiple times because there's no bidders. Make sure if they accept that and they do something like change the auction to the price that you're looking for, make sure you pay for it right away. Be a person of your word. And that is a very serious thing about me, is being a person of my word. So remember, whatever price you pick, make sure you include the eBay taxes and shipping and handling. Okay, so here are the comics. You'll obviously, once you see the first one, you'll know. So the first one is the Savage Sword of Conan. This is annual number 1. For some reason, can you guys see the full screen? Because I'm only seeing a tiny bit of the screen on here. So if there's any problems, let me know. If you could see this completely, because for some reason it's only showing a partial screen where I see like 1/16 of the screen. So this is Savage Sword of Conan, issue number 1. Now, the person said he believes these are all between fine and very fine to near mint condition. So keep that in mind. So if anybody knows when I show these, because like I said, there's only 8 comics altogether, but I absolutely love these covers. If you know of any significance, if there's somebody out there that's a huge Savage Sword of Conan fan, let me know. So that's annual number 1, issue number 84, and a newsstand. So I don't know if there's a difference, because like I said, I've never owned these before. So I don't know, because the annual doesn't have the barcode. So were there newsstand versions of this? Let me know. Or do they all have the barcodes? So again, and I'll show the artwork. I mean, these are going to be hard to grade because PGX does not do the larger ones. Again, these look absolutely beautiful, between fine and very fine. This is Savage Sword of Conan number 42. Okay, again with the barcode. So either they're on every comic, or these are newsstands, which would make them even more valuable, because I'm sure newsstand versions of these, especially in higher grade, would be harder to get. But again, if somebody out there collects Savage Sword of Conan, if you know if they all just have barcodes, or there is a difference between, a newsstand and a book you'd get from a comic store, let me know. This is issue number 41. A little bit of a bondage cover, so for people who like the bondage covers. Again, great artwork. Looks to be in fine grade, that particular one. This one looks really nice. Got a color break increase on the bottom, but still would absolutely be in the fine, very fine range. This is Savage Sword of Conan, issue number 5. Amazing artwork. If anybody knows the artists on any of these, you can also put that in the live chat or the comment section if you're watching it later. This is Savage Sword of Conan, issue number 3. Now, the last one didn't have a barcode, and this one doesn't have a barcode either. So interesting that those might actually be newsstands, or they just changed it at a certain point. Again, I've never owned these before, so I have nothing to compare them to. Savage Sword of Conan, issue number 2. It says Black Colossus, a novel-length tale from the Age of Swords and Sorcery. King Kull, Black Mark. So again, this one is in pretty beautiful shape. I would say easily very fine to near mint. So that's issue number 2. That's the best one so far. Actually, this is the best one so far. They're saying this looks like easily very fine to near mint. So these are all pretty high grade. Savage Sword of Conan, issue number 1. So it's issues 1, 2, 3, 5, 41, 42, 84, and annual number 1. So knowing that these, especially issue number 1, this is easily very fine to near mint. No color break increases. The corners are nice and sharp. No color creases along the spine. Colors are amazing. So whoever had these absolutely took care of them. So in the comments section or the live chat, tell me, ladies and gentlemen, what would be the most that you would have paid for this set, including shipping and handling. So the ones that are going to check eBay are going to be able to have a better idea of the value of these books as opposed to somebody that just says, well, I'd be willing to pay such and such price. Because like I tell people, you know, if a Porsche sells for $350,000, which it doesn't, but let's just assume it did, who wouldn't want to pay 10,000 for that same car? Well, no one's going to sell it to you for that unless it's stolen and somebody wants to just get rid of it for any price that somebody would be willing to pay. So it's not about, oh, well, I would only be willing to pay this much, because if you don't know the value, and let's say you see a comic that's selling for $1,000 best offer, and you say, well, I'd only pay 200. Well, that's wonderful, but chances of you getting $1,000 comic for 200 is going to be pretty much slim to none. So I'm talking about people for realistic options of what they would be willing to pay. And again, remember, when you see a price on eBay on sold comics, it doesn't show you including including the shipping and included in the eBay taxes. So if you see a sale for $500, it would be $500 plus the shipping plus the eBay taxes. So if anybody, I'll give a minute or two, and while you're waiting, so you don't have to see my ugly mug, you can again check out my thumbnail art, and you can make an offer. Well, make an offer. Jeez, it's going to be one of those days. You can make a comment on it. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, my sneak peek video from my auction on Sunday happened yesterday, which is Thursday the 7th. 2 of the comics have already been sold, Hulk 180, and what was the other book? The other book was Amazing Spider-Man number 20. Both of those have had offers made, accepted, and remember, purchase payment plans. I think I'm having a stroke today. Payment plans are available, or you can take your chances and wait on Sunday for the auction and potentially be outbid or miss the auction. So no one's putting a price of what they paid. So at this point, I'll just say what I paid for these books. Now, these books, again, very fine to near mint. Some of them fine, very fine. But the first 2 issues definitely look very fine near mint easily. Um, this person had it the auction listed for $175. Buy it now, which in my opinion is not a bad price at all. But you guys know me. If I see something that I want, even if it's a good deal, now this wasn't an amazing deal, so it wasn't something I would have just bought right away. And since this is a book, these are books I would love to have, but I don't need to have them, so I don't care if I miss out. I emailed the person and said, hi, I know that you don't have a best offer, but would you be willing? And they accepted my offer of $100. So They had it listed at $175 plus, of course, shipping and eBay taxes with no best offer. So the majority of people would have either bought it at 175 or passed on it. I, on the other hand, said, I'm looking to make a deal, and what do I have to lose? Because the worst they can do is say no, or maybe come back with a counter offer. But I contacted them and made an offer of $100. They accepted, and what they did was they changed the price on the auction to have it as $100 buy it now, and as I promised, I paid for it right away. So, with shipping and handling and taxes, I paid a grand total of $114.88, which comes out to $14.36 per comic, which, in my opinion, I think is a great deal for those comics, especially when you're talking in high grade. And of all of the comics that I showed, issue 1 is in the best condition by far. Issue 2 is the close second. So in Sequential Geek says Boris Viello, and I'm sure I mispronounced that, is the artist. Now, was he the artist the entire time for those covers, or did it change over time? But absolutely, I actually thought it was Frank Franzetta, but it's got absolutely that style. But amazing comics. I've always wanted to have these, and now I own them. At least the issues 1, 2, and 3, and 5, but it's missing issue 4. So I must have the first 5 of this comic, but issue number 1 is the main reason why I bought this book, this set, and I think for the price, can't complain. So I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. Check out my live auction on Sunday. That is May 11th. That's at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, you could make a offer on any of the books by going to the sneak peek video that I did yesterday and contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. And you can absolutely, if I accept it, take that off the auction so you don't have to worry about missing the auction, being outbid, or having to pay more because you were in a bidding war with somebody else, which has happened. So without further ado, let's do today's surprise subscriber shoutouts. We're going to go with Brian Norman, ABC Comics, all the way from Scotland. Hello. And Sequential Geek, since you were kind enough to give that information about the artist. So let me know in the comment section if you think I got a good deal, great deal, or a bad deal. I'll leave that up to you. And if you're a person that loves Savage Sword of Conan, if you have any information or insight on these books, by all means, everything is always appreciated. So you could critique the AI art. Come support my channel at patreon.com/we love comics. You'll get your name up and shouted out every single video. And if I can get 20 or more paid members in a given month, I have giveaways that I'm trying to give away. So I will leave it up to you guys. Because remember, the majority of the money goes towards not only my comics, but the majority of it will go to helping the stray cats that I take care of. And remember, there is no minimum to join the contest other than the minimum to join anybody's, which is $2 a month. But you'll get one entry for every $2 that you contribute. So the more you contribute, the more chances of getting the drawing in your favor once we get to 20 members in any given month. If it's every single month, I'll give a giveaway every single month. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. You can hit the thumbs up or thumbs down. I would love to see your comments once this video uploads. I don't get many comments, but I do respond to each and every one of them. And either I'll read your emails from your offers from the sneak peek video I did yesterday, or hopefully I'll see you at the live auction on Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And if anybody can be kind enough to share that or tell it to anybody that buys comics, it would definitely help. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, my comic sales are the only income I have, and I do that by choice. I have been technically, quote unquote, unemployed since October of 2023. No government subsidies, no handouts, no money being coming from any government or anything like that. My money that I make to pay my bills and take care of the cats is by selling these comics and doing auctions once every 4 or 5 months. So your contributions help my family inside and out. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you to all that are in the live chat and all of you that watch later on. Don't forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered. Peace out, everybody. I'll see you next video.